Hey guys, XCI here, and today on another video we are going to check on how to paint your wheels. On my BMW 3 Series I have a set of 19-inch wheels, as you can see right here, but they have been giving me a ton of trouble since I've got this car. Losing air pressure, these run flat tires on these 19-inch rims, I'm actually not sure if the wheels actually have leaks in them. So what I did, I actually converted to 18-inch wheels. So I actually got these beautiful set of 18-inch wheels. They are original BMW rims, and these actually came off a 5 Series BMW, and it's a lovely 5-spoke design. It's a square set 18-inch rims with a plus 35 offset. Now the only problem with these rims is that they are chrome, and given my matte black BMW 3 Series, we had to convert it to black rims. So I'm going to talk you through the process that I've used. My intention for this video is a really budget DIY. You know, a lot of people have videos where you use expensive spray gun and professional but costly tools that do give you a great finish, but I really wanted to see what we could accomplish with bare minimum. So the first thing we have to do is we have to sand down this chrome in order for the paint to stick. So as you have been seeing, is I used a simple sandpaper. I used 400 to 600 grit sandpaper, and no sanding machine or anything like that, just my hands in order to really get into all the tight corners. Next, what I did, I used a garbage bag or a trash bag, and I tore it open and laid it flat on the face of the wheel. Then I taped it onto the tire on multiple points along the wheel. Next, I ran a knife along the edge between the rim and the wheel, cutting a nice circle that exposes just the face of the rims. I'm sorry I was unable to show this, but after I taped along the edge between the rim and the tire, as well as taping again the bag on the wheel, and then what I used was a primer, spray paint primer, to prime all the surfaces of the wheel. This is getting it prepared for final painting. All in all, I probably used about 2 coats of primer. My primer is gray, it doesn't really matter. Most importantly, you put even coats in order to have a smooth finish on your wheels. And so here we have a look at the end result of how the wheels look right before painting. So what was my method of painting my wheels? Well, the good old paint and paintbrush. Now in retrospect, I probably would have done it differently. Maybe I would have gone with spray paint, but the problem is spray paints do not last. Regardless of how many coats you put and how heat resistant they are, they often do not hold up well to weather. Now professionally painted rims are usually done in about 5 different methods. They are either anodized or heat treated, and as well as various other ways. But the point is, no matter what you do, you really never get the same consistency and perfection as a professionally painted rim. I think these budget DIYs, you really quickly changed the look of your wheels in a very cost-effective manner, and if you really like how it looks, then you could probably have someone professionally paint it for you so that it's more permanent and more lasting. So next what I did, I turned the wheel around and I painted on the inner side all the spokes, and I painted about a 1.5 inch rim of black on the inside, and that is because I've decided to do a 2-tone rim color. So there will be outside on the black with red stripes, as well as inside, so it's a nice contrast with the inside being red to the black. The problem with trying to paint red right up until the edge is that you would more than likely make a mess of it. So by bringing the red on the inside away from the face of the rim, it's less likely to cause mess. Next, after putting 2 coats of this oil-based lacquer paint that I was painting on with the brush, I put 1 coat of spray paint gloss black. And this helped with smoothing out any little ripples I had with the paintbrush, and it looked pretty good after. Next, you'll see me taping the inner side of the wheel, and this forms the boundary between the black paint in front and the red on the inner back. Now, another reason I decided to use a paintbrush and paint is because of color matching. I use flat red paint. It's a base color, but this red was a bit too bright for my matte black. So by using this method, I was able to mix the paint with some black to get it this darker shade, which actually goes a lot better, more subtle than a very bright red to contrast the matte black. I eventually did 3 coats of this red. Next was the most time consuming part of the whole process, taping the pattern onto the face of the wheel. Now I decided to go with red accents or highlights around the edges of the 5-star wheel, and it was really time consuming. What you have to remember is to make sure and use appropriate paint tape. Be very particular on where you place in tape. My lighting was not the best, but I still think it came out well. Ensure that you stick it firmly to the surface. I did this entire project in 1 weekend, so I didn't have enough time in between allowing the paint to dry, but it is still very doable in 2 days. Another advantage of using the paintbrush and paint is that when you have delicate and very fine areas to do these accents, using spray paint is almost very likely to cause a disaster, having paint go all over your black areas. So the paintbrush was really critical in this particular instance. So after you have your final pattern, it's time to paint. Try not to put too much of a thick coat, but most importantly, and I would have to say this is probably something I learned the hard way, do 1 rim at a time, and as soon as you've completed your pattern, wait about 30 seconds to maybe a minute and then start pulling off the tape. The problem with these paints, when they start to dry, they actually cake onto the tape, and you pull them off and you actually pull off your pattern because it's so very fine. As you can see, I just have a couple lines that are going across the edges of the star, and you are very likely to ruin your pattern if you allow the paint to dry too much. So do 1 wheel at a time, paint it, and then take off the tape as soon as possible. Now I must admit I made some mistakes. I had some smudges, I lost some paint some places, but hopefully by seeing this video you guys could improve upon my method and your wheels would come out much better. So once I was finished and all the paint was dry, I used a spray paint clear coat and did 2 layers on all the rims, both sides, front and back. So I hope you guys learned something. Comment below and let me know what I could have done better. I had a lot of fun doing this project. It was very time consuming, but I love working on cars and I love doing things for myself. It looks very good. I got a couple of comments from my colleagues at work, but truthfully it's not professional. But hey, it's a budget DIY. I actually probably spent less than 50 US in everything done here, and I think it's worth it. It will definitely work until I decide on the pattern and get someone to do it professionally with heat treated paint or something to that extent. So I'll leave you now with some pictures of how it looks on the car. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Comment below, and hope you guys have a good day. Take care. Bye.